Hello and welcome to Meet Our Makers, an artist interview podcast produced in association with Beats Per Minute. I'm your host, Jeremy J. Facette, and on this episode, we get to meet Johan and Sally of Sally Shapiro. They are a duo who has been recording under the name Sally Shapiro since the 2000s, even though that name sounds like it's for one person, and the Sally of the duo does take on the name Sally Shapiro, but it's a pseudonym for her, but it's also the band name. You get it, it's a little confusing, but they have been making lovely, sweet, sugary Italo-disco, synthwave, synth-pop, electro, dance music since the 2000s when they burst onto the scene with their song I'll Be By Your Side. And now they have just released their brand new record called Ready to Live a Lie, out now on Italians Do It Better. I was so happy that Johan and Sally agreed to chat. They don't do a ton of press, especially Sally, who, as I kind of mentioned, uses Sally as a pseudonym. It's not her real name. No one who doesn't know her knows who she really is. And that anonymity is kind of key to their story. And while we do talk quite a bit about this new record and what they were trying to do with it this time around, we do talk about the band history a little bit and what led to them operating the way they do, with Johan being kind of the more public person, the producer and the primary songwriter, and Sally being the sort of anonymous, pseudonymous singer. And also how that kind of led to this creation of a character also named Sally Shapiro, who kind of narrates the songs. It's a lot to get into, and they were very candid and very lovely, and I feel sort of honored that they agreed to come on and chat for a little while. So thank you for listening. This is me meeting Sally Shapiro. Yeah, you guys sound good too. Thank you. Thanks for coming and hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you too. So thank you for coming by. We should say right away the main reason for inviting you here today is that there is a brand new Sally Shapiro record coming out May 30th on Italians Do It Better called Ready to Live a Lie. It's been 3 years since your last LP, Sad Cities. So I'm curious how you two are both feeling as we approach this sort of big release day.
Yeah. Right now, when we're recording this, we are awaiting the physical records to arrive, the records and CDs. So we are kind of mentally prepared to ship out a lot of records, and we're focusing on the physical aspect of it because these days we sell a lot through Bandcamp, and so we've taken over a lot of the like distribution ourselves.
It doesn't feel so long ago since the last album were out. I think it feels like it has gone pretty short time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that it was like 10 years.
It was like 10 years before that.
So it feels like it has been a slower process this time though. The last time we made it didn't take so long.
Once we decided, we did it in a quite short period of time.
So this time we decided that it could take the time it takes, not to pressure anything. So I was pretty
surprised.
Yeah, surprised when we had so many songs that it really were going to be an album. So in so short time,
yeah. So it sounds like it was a pretty relaxed process.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. So let's talk about the record. So this is your fifth album together. As I said, it follows the last one, Sad Cities. And I was trying to, when I was compiling my notes for this chat, I was trying to find kind of what you guys had been saying here and there about this record, and I kept seeing that the concept of sort of lies and falsehoods and sort of artificiality kept coming up, especially in regards to the ones we surround ourselves with in this modern era. And I'm wondering if you could sort of unpack that a little bit and sort of express how that did inform this record? I mean, it is sort of in the title, but
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So we kind of, I don't think it was a conscious decision before we made the album, but when we started to compile tracks, we realized that a lot of these tracks are dealing with these problems that you can get in long-term relationships with triangle affairs and lying to yourself, lying to your partner. And there was also this Pet Shop Boys cover, Rent, which also is like probably sung from the perspective of a mistress. And it kind of fit also quite well into this concept. And then this phrase, "Ready to Live a Lie," is taken from one of the tracks, which is called "Hard to Love." And we thought it was a quite good album title. And personally, I think it also kind of fits well into this era that we live in with Instagram and everything, where we present our lives in a way which might not be 100% correct all the time.
Yeah, it is a good album title. It sounds like a James Bond film or something. Is there a song? Is that the song maybe? But I'm wondering if there is a song on the album that sort of best or most clearly ties to those themes for you guys.
Well,
yeah,
mostly every song.
"Hard to Love" and "Rent" and "Did You Call Tonight" and
The Other Days also.
Yeah, The Other Days and "He's Not You." One of the last tracks probably will not be noticed, but by that many. It's not a single, but it's one of my favorites, and I think it kind of summarizes everything in a good way, and in a sad way. It's a very, very, very sad song, but I think I'm very happy with how it came out.
It is kind of a sadder record overall, I would think, for you two.
Yeah, it is, especially if you compare to the second record,
right?
Where there's more of this falling in love for the first time, naivety, and it doesn't mean that we think everything is bad, but we feel that there's a need to maybe sing about these things and to process these things and reflect on life.
Yeah.
Maybe Sally also grown with us a bit.
Exactly. This fictional character, Sally, has become a bit older and has longer relationships.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, the character of Sally, because I also saw that in the press notes for this record. And I know that Sally Shapiro has always been both a sort of band name and a pseudonym. But for some reason, I had never realized or never put it together that it was also sort of this fictitious heroine of these songs. Has that always been the case, you think?
Yeah, but not so thorough through.
Not maybe outspoken in that.
No, and
Right.
not outspoken to ourselves either, I think.
Yeah.
But it has been, it has been that way. We have some songs, I think, that I felt like afterwards that this was not the Sally song, and that is. And when I then say Sally song, I don't really know if it's about me or if it's this fictional character or if it. But this is not what Sally would sing about. So, so in a way, this it's a mix. You can say, yeah.
It's a character that has grown to life gradually.
Yeah. And now we're checking in with her at sort of maybe a more serious juncture in her life.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Musically speaking, when you guys first came out of the gate back in the 2000s, as you mentioned, the first couple records, you were most sort of held up in the realms of synth pop and Italo-disco, and I think that, you know, mostly held true. But over the years, it does feel like some other stylistic aims have come up over the passing years, like house music and dance pop and things like that. So what do you think most went into this album, musically speaking?
Mhm. I think that if you should just like choose one genre of music that has influenced us during the latest two albums, then it's probably synthwave, which is kind of it's like a modern updated version of Italo-disco or something with a bit harder compression and so on. And I think working with Johnny Jewel and also working with a friend and co-producer of mine called Mikael Ögren has kind of influenced the choice of drum sounds and the production and mixing process, so that it's a bit more modern and a bit harder. Then there's also like on certain tracks there are like influences from breakbeat electro on Did You Call Tonight, and on He's Not You there's even some bossa nova influences, and on Hard to Love there's a lot of 70s disco influences. So it varies, and Hospital is like a classic indie pop song, like 90s indie pop.
Yeah.
And that has also been an influence for us earlier. So
sort of the 90s indie pop landscape. Yeah. You mentioned Johnny Jewel. We should say Italians Do It Better is his label, correct?
That's right.
Right. And he worked closely with you guys on this and the last record. You know, he's a pretty well-known entity himself. I mean, he, you know, coming from Chromatics, were you guys fans of Chromatics for a while before you came to Italians Do It Better? Is that how, like, I guess I'm curious how you guys linked up with him in the first place and this label, because this was not your original label.
No, that's true. Yeah, I was a big fan of Chromatics, Glass Candy, Desire for a lot of years, and I even made a remix of Glass Candy back in 2008. And then I had like sporadic email contact with Johnny, and I sent him our tracks. And then for the last album, Sad Cities, I reached out to him and asked if he would be interested in co-producing a track or producing a track together for the album. And then I had an email address that he didn't read anymore, but the label president, Megan, of the label, she got back to us and well, let's see about production, but maybe you would be interested in releasing the album on our label. And then, as it turned out, Johnny Jewel hasn't really been involved in production, but we have instead been mixing both these two albums together. And I think I've learned a lot about production and mixing through this process. So when we mix, we talk on Zoom, and then we write to each other on Instagram, and it's like on a very detailed level. It can be like, okay, at 3 minutes and 46 seconds, can you bring up the snare drum a bit?
Right.
So it's on that level. So like endless meters and meters of Instagram discussions.
So continuing to talk about the process a little bit. So I know you are a duo aside from a couple production assists here and there. But how does a typical Sally Shapiro song start for you guys? Because as I understand it, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand it, Johan, you produce the music and the lyrics too, and then Sally contributes the vocals. Is that correct?
That's the basic process.
The basic process, okay.
That we have. And usually I work on some instrumental, and often I play it to Sally and get some feedback along the way. And sometimes we involve some co-songwriters for the lyrics, and sometimes I write them myself, and sometimes Sally also writes a bit. And I would say the feedback is very important because Sally has a very good ear for what is good pop, I say. And I can like electronic music, which is not pop, and
Right.
I make a lot of ambient music myself, so I don't have these demands that everything should be poppy. But when it gets filtered through Sally's critical ears, then in the end it's poppier, and I think that's good for this project because it's a certain sound and a certain type of music that we have found.
Yeah.
Do you think it's correct, Sally?
Yes, it's correct.
It's correct.
Yeah.
Sally, do you come up with the melodies, or is that more of a Johan thing?
It's more of a Johan thing, but
Okay.
vad heter det? Gestik, är det så kul? Alltså,
that you can take away some things?
Yeah, take away some things and say that this needs to be more poppier or more you need to work more on this phrase or something like that.
But you did write the chorus to Did You Call?
Yeah, I did, because I thought you were really bad. So
it was a bit funny because we were going to record it, and then Sally was like, this isn't a good chorus. And then I was a bit depressed, and I went to the keyboard and like, okay, I'm not going to leave this keyboard until I have a good chorus. And then Sally was like, it can't be that hard to write the chorus to this song. And then then she took over and wrote it quite quickly.
So Sally doesn't always write the lyrics, but when she does, she's really coming in strong.
Yeah, and I think you should do it more, Sally. So let's hope for more in the future.
Oh, of course. Yeah, sure. So was there anything then markedly different this time around in terms of the production process, or does it feel like you guys have found a pretty good groove, so to speak?
I think it's quite similar to what we did on Sad Cities, and this process with Johnny, and maybe it's if anything, then maybe I am more self-confident in the production because I don't use as many co-producers or like co-artists, featured artists than earlier. So maybe that's one thing. But otherwise, I think we have found our way to do this.
And it was nice that it could take some more time.
Compared to we were a bit stressed about Sad Cities because we had a release date and everything.
So it was better this way when it could take the time it needed.
Yeah. So not to pick apart the songs too much, because there is sort of an element of mystique in what you guys do, and of course it is a lot of narrative driving this record. But I am always drawn on your albums to, as much as the sort of more upbeat and dancier songs that you can get lost in, I'm also drawn to the slower moments, because you do have some every now and then. Like you had Christmas Escape on the last record, and now this time you mentioned He's Not You, which is a bit of a slower one, and then of course Rain, which is essentially a piano ballad that closes out the record on a very sort of soft and slow note. What's the story of a song like Rain? Like, how do you end up landing on a song that feels, because it feels quite different from the more electronic and sort of groovier tracks?
Both Sally and I like this kind of piano pop. There's a Swedish artist called Anna Ternheim, for example, that we really like. And the story behind Rain was that I had a period with I was kind of sensitive to loud music. You can get that as a music producer sometimes when you work too intensely. So I was working with completely drumless music. And then this song actually is based on thing I wrote as a teenager. And I found out that, wow, this really works as a piano backing melody. So that was the beginning of the track, and it took quite a long time until we had it like a pop song.
Yeah.
But finally we did, and really happy with it. It's like a nice ending track. And I could definitely make more music like this. I really love this kind of music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sally, do you like singing these slower songs sometimes? Like, because again,
Yeah,
they feel
I
so
do.
different.
Yeah, but I do, and it's yeah. Vad ska jag säga mer? Nej.
Oh,
Ja.
we're quite diverse in our tastes, so both of us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we have our listeners. We know that what they like in terms of Italo-disco inspired music. So I mean, it would be risky to release such a track as a single,
right?
But it's really nice to have them there, and
yeah. I mean, it's like a come down after the more sort of upbeat, sugary, faster songs, and then you get to this nice little sort of dramatic closer.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So can we do a quick bit of band history here? Because I mean, I feel fortunate that you guys are here. I'm very grateful that you guys are here. Because neither of you do a ton of press. Especially Sally, you don't do a ton of press. I know that.
No.
So I'm very, very thankful that you're here. But I am curious to go back, because I mean, you have been active for almost 20 years now, which is kind of crazy to think about a little bit.
It is.
But do you recall sort of what the starting point was for Sally Shapiro? I assume, did it start with you, Johan? Were you trying to like find someone to work with, or did you guys come up with this together?
No, it was Johan that had written this "I'll Be by Your Side," just to try to write something that was Italo-disco. Maybe you should say this.
Yeah. Yeah. So what the idea was to make one track, and I and Sally were work colleagues, and we hadn't spoken so much about music, but I had heard her sing a voice, and really liked it, and had noticed that this is a bit Italo-disco style. And then I made this track, "I'll Be by Your Side," and asked Sally if she wanted to sing on it, and she gave it a shot.
Three shots.
You sang it 3 times, and then I was really amazed how well the voice melted into the atmosphere. So I uploaded it to some music forums, and then it spread from there to different MP3 blogs.
Yeah.
And Pitchfork wrote about it, and we got offers from record labels and so on. So it felt like a natural thing to make more music and a whole album.
For you, it was. For me, it wasn't so natural, because for you it was natural because you wrote music. And had.
I wanted to be a musician.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I was just. I sang on this song, and I didn't thought so much about it, so I was pretty like shocked that shall I sing on another one, and all these nice words that were coming, and it felt quite weird. Fun but weird, so I wasn't prepared at all. So
I mean, it's been a little over 18 years since the first Sally album, Disco Romance, and "I'll Be by Your Side," of course, predated that a little bit. But that is still such a major song for me and for a lot of fans. I mean, you mentioned the sort of blogs picking up, and Pitchfork picked it up, and I'm sure you were not expecting that, but they really ran with what you guys were doing, and in a weird way, I feel like also you were ahead of your time because disco has been everywhere lately.
Mm.
In the past 5 or 6 years, there's been a major disco infusion in modern pop music between people like Dua Lipa and Jessie Ware, and just these people kind of really incorporating some of the same styles that you guys started with,
Mm.
which has been kind of fun to see.
Yeah, it's surrealistic to think about it in that way, but yeah, we probably made the right thing at the right time. And
Yeah.
for me, Italo Disco up until then had been almost a guilty pleasure. Not so many people knew what it was or liked it, and it was considered quite cheesy. But then there was like a small scene trying to reinvent it. A lot of producers from the Netherlands, for example, like Legowelt, where Alden Tyrell were doing these things, but not with like singers and this indie pop influence that we brought to it. So we didn't realize it, but probably the combination of indie pop influences and Italo disco was the thing that came at the right time.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, Sally, you mentioned you were kind of not prepared for just the response or the scale of what you were getting yourself into.
No. I didn't really know that Johan would even upload this
Right.
song. So
It was just like a fun thing you did.
It was, yeah, exactly. So it was really
I feel I have to apologize. Sorry, Sally.
It was really a surprise. So no ambitions from my side.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that then partially what led to this decision for you, mostly you, to remain, relatively anonymous through this endeavor, because it was never really something that you were expecting for yourself to do?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't prepared at all, and it had never been like a dream that I have dreamt to be an artist or something like that. So for me, it was just like, but this is no, this is not. I'm not prepared on be on stage and go on live tours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and then it was like that, and then it continued like that.
Yeah, and the pseudonym Sally Shapiro was also the idea was also to do it in a bit of the 80s Italian disco way, when there were often female singers with English sounding pseudonyms, and they had like real Italian names, but they were calling themselves Valerie Dorr or Katie Gray. And we thought that was quite fitting as a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a reference.
Yeah, like the reference, and then
it became established.
Yeah, and it fitted me as a person also to do it that way.
Yeah,
so it was
exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was trying to think about because I feel like the choice to be anonymous is so hard for a lot of artists to maintain. I think of there's only so many people who continue to be able to hold that down. I mean, you guys come to mind, Burial. I think Horse Girl, who's recently come out with some EPs and stuff, they're anonymous. But even, people like Orville Peck tried to be anonymous for a while, and then, got larger and a little bit less anonymous.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel the challenge of maintaining your anonymity?
There was a time when we got a lot of, in the beginning, a lot of requests, erbjudanden.
Offers
to do live concerts and do stuff. And then in the beginning, we thought about this every time it came. We were like, oh, shall we do it? Shall we not do it? And are we prepared to do it? Do we want to do it? And stuff like that. So every time you had to think about it. But then when after a while, you land in this decision that no, we're not going to do it. You don't have to think about it. It's just, and that was really nice when we landed in that no, we are not going to do it, and not going to think that, oh, maybe it's a chance, you should take it and stuff like that. That we were thinking in the beginning that maybe, are we doing the right thing now, or maybe we should, maybe we will regret it and so. But now and then when we landed in it, it was really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about the anonymity, it's not like we are super huge in Sweden. If we were, then I guess someone would think it would be a cool thing to reveal.
Yeah,
Right.
but
find out the real name and reveal it and so on.
So
But
it's not a problem at all.
No.
No.
It hasn't been anyway.
No, it hasn't been.
Well, good.
and we don't feel no, it hasn't been
There's been no pressure
hard,
to reveal.
No pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, people like Burial were kind of coming out around the time you were coming up, in the mid 2000s, and I remember, I mean, when Sally Shapiro started, I think there was a photo of you that, like, I'm sure you sanctioned, and it was like the only one, that was with reviews and with album news and things like that. With Burial, for a long time, there were no photos, and then eventually there was like one, and I remember it was a big news story when there was a photo of him, and it just made me start thinking about, I wonder if being anonymous would be easier or harder today, because like at the same time you have the ability to get your work out there in a much more digital way, in a much more quick way than you did in the mid 2000s, because you can just upload something and maybe, people notice.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, everyone has so much more access to trying to find who people are these days. So I don't know. I mean, do you feel you guys just kind of happened at the right time? You kind of got lucky with it? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be a whole different story to break today than 20 years ago. And you would probably, it's probably difficult without TikTok and all these kind of video clips from your life. So we stay quite low profile, and it works for us.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because we already got to this point.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah, I would imagine you're able to just live your regular lives when you're not making music. Yeah. Which is nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a little bit more of looking backwards for a second. So you mentioned we mentioned the almost decade between Somewhere Else and Sad Cities. Somewhere Else from 2013 and Sad Cities, of course, from 22. I am curious what led to you taking that sort of long hiatus or long break, and then ultimately what compelled you guys to come back? Because now it seems like you're here to stay.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We like if it ends, then it's not because of that reason.
Right.
Anyway, so in 2013, we, after Somewhere Else, we kind of diverged. We went to different directions musically. I wasn't interested in doing much pop related, and I wanted to do more like trance and ambient music. And Sally you were a bit into like guitar based pop. We made this cover version of David Guetta, Dangerous, as a B-side on our last single, what we thought was our last single, which was quite of a new direction. And that would probably have been the direction if you would have continued at that point, Sally. But then we felt a kind of sadness that, is this project really over? And after a while, the inspiration came back, and what I've learned from that, or what we've learned, is probably that maybe you sometimes just need a break for a few years.
Yeah, because it was was a bit between them, but it felt like they were like coming quite close. That we worked on tracks as soon as the first.
The first 3 albums.
First album was out. We were working on the next album and so on. And after the third album, we didn't do that. So, and we didn't really wanted to do that either. So then it felt like, no, but this is 3 albums. That's good. That's how far this project will go. And then, now we're diverging on different other ways, and we're not having this inspiration of doing more Sally Shapiro things. So that's why that decision came by. But I don't know really how it.
Why? At what point we decided to make a new album? I think.
Don't remember. Really.
No, I think it was actually one like stop into that decision was when we made this track "Forget About You," which originally was a duet with Ryan Paris. And we did this, we also did this Love on Ice with Ryan Paris, who is an old Italo-disco singer. And I felt at that point that Sally she's really got it. And this is really good. So and then I think it was simply that I got some ideas that felt like, okay, this would be so much better if it was a Sally Shapiro track. So some of the songs on Sad Cities were like big inspirational sources for restarting the project and doing a whole album.
Sally, were you ever hesitant to get back into making Sally Shapiro records?
I don't really remember now. I don't think so. Because maybe you pitched the right song first.
Right.
It must have been that way because I think it was quite not so hard to start over again.
Pretty smooth.
But I don't know really which song did you pick?
Which song that were the first songs?
Must have been some good one.
Yeah.
One of the good ones.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember, but Forget About You had been it started like a duet, but then we made it a single. So and that's one of the songs I think we like.
Well,
anyway,
he pitched me
Sally
one, I think.
Sally was positive to restarting the project. So
okay, good. Because now you're here and we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
So I mean, you mentioned the you guys decided at some point that it would not be that Sally Shapiro would not be really a live music entity, which partially has to do with the desire for anonymity, but also just I'm guessing wasn't quite what you wanted to be doing. What is it? Because I know you did a couple shows or DJ sets a few times back in the day, but then I, realized it really wasn't what you guys wanted.
No, exactly. It was like a try to just see how it felt, and if it was like, oh, this was really, really nice.
Yeah.
This is how we were, man frodas.
This is how we thrive.
Yeah. Stuff like that it would get inspiration and so on. But it was mostly ångest.
Anxiety.
Anxiety. So
there were some good moments.
Yeah, there were
some
moments. Of course
nice.
But the overall thing was like, no, this is not my thing.
Yeah,
right. Just wasn't right.
Yeah.
And also the traveling bit and
exactly.
preparations and everything.
Exactly. It's so much more than just sets. It's all the lifestyle that.
Yeah.
It felt like, no, this is not the way I want to live my life. So
yeah.
It's
interesting too, though, because I feel like maybe again because you sort of started in the mid 2000s, and so you had an established kind of set of listeners and songs, because now it feels like touring is the only way that people come out and break through in the music industry. But I feel like it's not necessarily a requirement. And it doesn't seem to be for you guys, because I mean, you came back after the break with Sad Cities, and then just a few years later, you now have another one. And I mean, people like what you're doing, and I don't know. Is anyone pressuring you to go out on tour? It feels like they're not really.
No, not anymore. No,
Yeah.
no. So,
No, and we were clear from the beginning with
Right.
Italian Street Better
Yeah.
that we're not going to go touring, and they were totally fine with it.
yeah.
Okay.
And they have some artists also other than us who not tour.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're not completely alone with it. But yeah, of course, probably we would maybe like reach to more people if we did live shows. But we have enough to be able to do this, and
Right.
and like
And
it's
I'm very fond of, vad heter det, vardagar? The ordinary days.
ordinary days.
Yeah, I'm very fond of the ordinary days.
Right.
So, and maybe I think that people are different, and maybe these songs wouldn't be there if we were the kind of person that would tour around the world. Maybe
Sure.
these songs would look different also. So yeah.
So as we, since you don't have a tour to look forward to, which, a lot of my guests, I'm speaking to them as the record's coming out and they have a tour coming up. Since you do not have a tour coming up, then what are you most excited for when you're releasing a brand new album and the year kind of goes along?
Yeah, we still have like connections to listeners, and it's always nice to read what people write, and
that's nice when people spontaneously write to us about some words just
right.
about the songs. That's nice.
And we also like we sell more records ourselves through Bandcamp. So
right.
and we write I always write some note with the package, and they often write something also when they order it. So we kind of still feel a little bit of a connection. With the listeners.
It's nice when they order directly from us, just to, because you see it more. It becomes more real because we don't have this contact with the listeners on the tour. It became some kind of contact when we send records all over the world.
It's nice people. That you can, I was gonna say it's nice that you can like hold a record, package it up, and know that it's being shipped to someone who wants to receive it from you.
Yeah, and you write something to the person. Like that.
No, and I mean, when you were first starting, we didn't have quite the infrastructure for the sort of outreach that you have now, because you have social media that you can use to hear from fans. You have Bandcamp, which I think has been quite a great thing for independent artists in many, many ways. But it's nice that you were able to, over the years, almost really 2 decades now, sort of maintain your initial plan, for the group, and also at the same time grow that connectivity that you might lack from not touring. You're able to find it anyway, which I think is really cool.
And as you mention it in that way, it's almost surreal, because when we started the project, we did really not think it would be such a long-term project.
No.
But here we are now with five albums and a lot of singles, and also some quite loyal listeners who come back to us and buy our records. And it's really nice.
Well, we should say again, the record we keep talking about, Ready to Live a Lie, is out on May 30th via Italians Do It Better. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Sally, so much for coming and hanging out today.
Thank you. It was nice speaking to you.
Yes, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care, you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.